Hello, everyone. This is John Galt speaking, here with a live stream for you guys. I used to do these, once upon a time where we hang out. You guys ask questions, people that show up. I try to answer some questions that I got maybe during the week via email or comments or something on some of my other products, pages, or Udemy course pages. And yeah. So, hello. Happy Friday. Been a busy day for me today. Not an Unreal Engine, but busy otherwise. So with that, we're going to go poke around on the forum for a little while, see if there's anything on there to talk about or anything like that. So they did a live stream. What, yesterday? Is today Friday? Yeah, it is Friday. They did a live stream yesterday on Lyra. I watched a little bit of it, but didn't make much sense to me. So you guys might want to check it out. But it just, I don't watch their live streams very much. Most of them don't make no sense to me. I'm a simple man with simple goals and simple ambitions, and everything that they seem to talk about is just above my head, apparently. I don't read Egyptian hieroglyphics, so it don't mean anything to me. Here in Galt's Gulch, we keep it simple, stupid. And that project is far from simple. I will tell you guys that. Faux show. So we're going to bump into multiplayer and networking, and we'll kind of go through here. Maybe it won't be too redundant. They ain't a whole lot goes on these forums. I don't know where people are that are using the Unreal Engine where they congregate and hang out. Maybe it's in that Slackers Discord server, which I don't participate in, but yeah, there's not a whole heap goes on these forums these days. But anyway, we'll carry on. Does calling set owner on the client have any effect? Probably not. Probably not. Just so you guys know, there are, honestly, you guys have seen my projects, right? You've seen the TPS Basic, which is a 5-person multiplayer co-op type dealio with weapon pickups and AI, etc., etc. The multiplayer FPS Basic, which is basically a team PvP style game. I can think of very, very few, I'm talking less than 5 instances in those entire projects where the client did any fucking thing. Okay? So that ought to tell you. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but that ought to tell you, does calling a set owner on the clients don't do shit. Literally, they don't do shit. The server has to spawn the weapons. The server has to spawn the projectile. The server has to call a multicast to display the effects. The clients don't do shit. They literally don't. So it's just one of them things, guys. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong. But in my experience with all the projects that I've created, the clients don't do shit. They literally don't. It's kind of like you're playing a remote control, right? The server is remote controlling all the clients, right? That's basically what's going on. The server's in charge of their movement. The server's in charge of their health. The server's in charge of giving them guns. All the client's doing is taking his little radio antenna and broadcasting to the server. Hey, give me this. Hey, give me that. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. That's all they're doing. They're just asking for permission, literally. The server is a dictator. He gets to do everything. And if you don't feel like it, you ain't doing shit. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Players are not teleported with online subsystem Steam. Cannot get modular inventory system to work fluently with client. Replication, getting the server to destroy an actor for the client. Well, client calls server destroy actor. Server runs destroy actor on whatever actor it is. I guess, right? Basic spectating system, and hello, Oni. I do have chat open, so hello, happy Friday. Basic spectating system not working as intended on the client. Does it ever? Do clients need to call in session or just the host? How to fix error. Loading new map for dungeon on collision. Flying pond replication doesn't work correctly. Seems to Shutter, which I think that's supposed to be Stutter. So the last live stream we did, where I think we did a respawn, multiplayer respawn. I showed how I do my respawn. I mentioned in there that anytime you're dicking with the collisions in this engine, I find that you do most of that on a multicast, because the server and the clients need to know, all of them, that the collision was dicked with. Well, that's also true for the movement speeds of the characters or movement modes, for example. I don't know, maybe not necessarily the movement modes, but the speeds of the character for sure. Like, for example, if you want to put sprint in, well, you know, one of the things that involves is speeding up the character's movement speed. Well, if you only do that on the server is the only one that's going to see your movement speed increase. Well, you know, maybe that's not necessarily true. Usually what causes movement stutter, like if you're trying to speed the speed up of a character to sprint, as an example, and it's jittery, right? Like it's stuttery. Well, the engine has built-in error correction. And what's happening is the client and the server are fighting for the position of where that character is supposed to be. Okay. So when you do that, like if you change the movement speed, generally you have to do it on the server and then you have to do it on the owning client, right? That way they're both in sync and they're both registering that they're moving at the exact same speed. So that's probably something to do with what's going on with this flying pond replication. He says Shutter, but I think he probably means Stutter. So more than likely, it's got something to do with you need to do it on the server and you need to do it on the owning client. If you're activating flying movement, for example, probably both. Okay. So Oni asked, did you get a chance to see the Lyra live stream from Thursday? The stream was buffering and disconnecting, missing pieces of information from YouTube. Yeah, I mentioned at the first of the stream, probably before you got here, that I tried to watch it, but you know, most of everything that they talked about and showed and demonstrated and all that, it didn't mean shit to me. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. But, you know, I'm sure it's an epic project. There was a viewer that mentioned something in chat the other day that I actually, maybe I'll just go ahead and show this, right? So let's go ahead and open up the engine here and we'll talk about this for a split second. I'm going to do some investigation discovery about this. And the user that mentioned this was Danny K. And I need to thank him. Thank you, Mr. Danny K. So I have this plugin somewhere in here that I tried to use a little bit. I thought it was going to perform miracles, but it didn't. Does it ever? Right? They always hype these products up to make them be like, oh my God, that's the best thing since sliced bread. So I own this plugin, probably free for the month, might have been permanently free. I don't know. Maybe I even bought it. Hell, I don't know. But it's called Custom Speed and Orientation Warping. Okay. And what this is supposed to do, you know, they got a video here, which we're not going to go watch, but essentially what it's supposed to do is you have one like run forward. Okay. And using this plugin, you can make it procedurally create forward, left, forward, right, left, and right. Okay. With just a single forward animation. And I tried it, and it kind of did what it said that it did, but it looked pretty derpy to me. Like it didn't look, you know, it didn't look professional. It didn't look, it didn't look AAA quality, like not even B-level quality. It did it, right? Like it did it. You could make it look like he was strafing and shit, but it still just kind of looked stupid. You could tell that, you know, it was like, whatever. Better to have the animations or whatever. But anyway, so Danny K mentioned in a live stream that I did a couple days ago, might have even been a week ago, that stuff's included in Unreal Engine 5. And so I went in there poking around, and I will show you guys just a little bit of this, and maybe you guys want to experiment with it too. We'll create a default third-person template. I'm not going to like try to implement this, but we will talk a little bit about it. So when I was poking around in the Lyra project, I was looking at the animations, right? Like that was the main thing. I was like, holy shit, we finally got some decent animations for unarmed, rifle, crouching, pistol, etc., etc. Well, same as with the Paragon stuff, like all the Paragon animations, they always seem to be missing some, right? Like you got, here's an example. You got jog forward, jog backward, jog left, and jog right. But what you don't have is jog forward left, forward right, back left, and back right. Now in the past, I just made them. I was like, I don't know how these are missing, but whatever. And I just make those that were missing. Well, when I was looking in the Lyra project, I noticed the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. They've got forward, backward, left, and right. Where is the goddamn forward, left, forward, right, back left, back right? And then I came to the conclusion that they don't have those animations because they're doing it procedurally via that control rig or whatever, right? They done it some procedural way. Well, when Danny K mentioned that, I went into Unreal Engine 5 and I went to the plugin section. And if you look underneath the animation section, lo and behold, right? Now, this is the default third-person template. I did not turn on any of these plugins, and these are not any plugins that I have installed. These come in the engine. And by default, you can see that this third-person template is already using some of these plugins, right? Control rig, spline, etc., etc. But what's interesting in here is that you now have a plugin called Animation Warping. And if you look at it, it says framework for the animation pose warping. This plugin includes stride, orientation, and slope warping alongside the root motion delta animation attribute. But that's not all, right? If you continue to scroll down through these animation plugins, you're going to see that there's actually also one in here called motion warping. And there was another one somewhere in here, animation locomotion library. right? And if you look, it says collection of techniques for driving locomotion animations. So once upon a time in a galaxy far away, 1,000,000 years ago, they did a live stream. Some guy, I think his name was Jay Hosfeld or Hassenfoss or some shit like that. He did a multi-part series of tinkering with the Paragon animations, and he showed how to do what they called melee twist. He showed how to do 2 or 3 different types of turn in place animations. And he said that when they built the game Paragon, that they created some custom animation logic that read data off of the Paragon animations, like curves, foot plants, curves, acceleration rates, all this bullshit that they put on all those animations. And he said in the future that those nodes would eventually make it into the engine, and that to do a turn in place would be as simple as putting a node in your animation graph and plugging in a little bit of data into it. So I don't know if that's exactly what all this stuff is that I just talked about here. But I did look up, just to show you guys here. I did look up this, right? UE5 animation warping. Okay. And maybe it's this, right? So if you open this up, and I can actually link this in chat. This might not be the one, but I'll go ahead and link this. And if this ain't the one, maybe I can find it. So this is motion warping, and it's a little article talking about what it actually does. And there was one part in one of these. Okay, this is not the one, right? This is something different. But nevertheless, this might be something cool to look at. Let me see if I can find pose warping. Okay, maybe this is the one. Yeah, this is probably the one. So if you scroll on down through here, you can see what they're doing here and what this does. And this is one of those plugins that's built right into the engine now. So if you come on down here, like you got stride warping, there's a couple in here, but the slope warping, the specific one that I was looking at is called orientation warping. And if you look at what it actually does here, you have a single jog forward animation on the left. And if you look over here on the right, this is what enabling that plugin and putting it in your animation graph gives you the ability to do, which is essentially the same goddamn thing that plugin does, right? So you take a single forward jog animation and you can make it look like he's going forward, forward left, or forward right. Okay. So I would imagine, if I was just guessing, the reason that the Paragon animations and those Lyra animations do not have forward left, forward right, back left, and back right is because they're only using this pose warping deal to fill in the gap between forward and left, forward and right, backward and left, and backward and right. They're just using this plugin. So as an experiment, what I'm going to do at some point is probably, and I need to link this one too, because this is not the same as that other one. So I'll go ahead and link this in here for you. It tells you how to set this up, right? So this might be worth a look. And if you were to take forward, left, right, and backward, and build a blend space using that, and then use this animation pose warping shit to fill in the gap, it might save you from having to make forward, left, forward, right, back left, and back right. I don't know. To me, it kind of still looks a little funky, but maybe that's just because they're not using left and right. Maybe. I don't know. Or, you know, maybe they just plugged it in and didn't really put in any kind of, looks like it's pretty easy to implement. Like if you start with a default third person project, it's already got IK implemented. So really, it's a matter of unhooking the locomotion, going from local to component, put in the orientation warping, put in the leg IK node, and then component back to local and plug into your output pose. And then there's some parameters that you put in here, and all it requires you to plug in after you put the parameters in is the direction. Seems easy enough. So, you know, maybe it's worth a look. I don't know, but this is the settings, right? So when you click that node, no, maybe that's not the settings. Maybe this is the settings. So when you click that node, like if you select this node, over on the right, it will give you access to this panel. And this is what you put in, right? You put in all 5 spine bones. You put in the IK bone names. You just plug these in. Then after you do that and you build your graph that way, right? And you just plug the direction in and it's supposed to do that. So I don't know. Might work like shit. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't find a whole lot about those new plugins, right? Like, it doesn't really talk a whole lot about it. Maybe I should sit here and read this a little more. Let's see. What was the other one? Like, it didn't really give many examples, I don't think. Slope warping. Stride warping. I would imagine that right there is, you know, taking a single speed animation and it gradually, like if you pick the speed up of the character, instead of having to have, here's what I'm saying. Let's say you have a jog forward, but you also want to be able to sprint, but you don't have sprint animations. The stride warping, I believe, gives the illusion that you're sprinting by using the jog, right? So in other words, somehow it uses the IK and it stretches the leg out a little more, increases the stride, I think is what that does. I don't know. And it says something about that you had to have root motion enabled, right? So see there, I mean, to me, that still kind of looks, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I mean, maybe it's just their little screenshot. It still looks kind of funky to me. But you never know till you try it, right? Don't know. But anyway, so Danny K, thank you for that. I will check that out. It may suck. It may not. It may be the missing piece of the puzzle. As far as the rest of that stuff is concerned, I don't know. Like I couldn't find any information on that, like animation locomotion library. But if you read it, it says collection of techniques for driving locomotion animation. Well, what the hell does that mean? Is that where the double secret triple probation turn in place node is, right? That like literally you just plug in some values. So I don't know. That might be what that is. But once again, I couldn't find anything on that. This is the one that includes the orientation stuff, I believe. It's weird. There's 2 different kinds, right? So you got animation warping, and then there's another one down here called motion warping. So what the fuck is the difference, right? Like, I mean, I guess there's a difference, right? Wasn't that first thing that I linked? I don't know. I didn't read it, but whatever. It might be worth looking into at some point. Not today, but some point. And there's Danny K now. Speaking of, hope so. I hate making blend spaces. Hope it's as good as it seems on the surface. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? To be able to just take. But see, here's the thing. I know. All the Paragon animations have jog forward, backward, left, and right. I also know that all the Lyra has forward, backward, left, and right. What's missing is the forward, left, forward, right, back. So what I'm assuming is that they've created a blend space or logic that it only does the motion, the animation warping when you're at a 45 degree, 135 degree, and then negative 45 and whatever, right? So they're using the left and the right, and they're using that animation warp and shit only to fill in the gaps between forward and left and forward and right and backward and left and backward and right. So I guess you would have to look at the blend spaces, right? Like, how did they create their blend spaces? They create blend spaces different than I've ever done it, right? Like they have blend spaces for like your start for or your starts and your stops and all that weird shit. So you would have to mimic however it is that they did it. I mean, we could, well, I mean, hell, this is a dicking around stream. So why don't we go look at some of their blend spaces, right? Like I didn't even look at them. I did find another discovery that pissed me off about these fucking animations. Go figure. I don't know. I could probably show you guys what it is, but the female variants of these animations are fucked up, right? Her feet are off the ground. But here's the thing. So normally when you encounter that, right? Like normally when you encounter a character whose feet are hovering a little bit above the ground, what's the fix for that? Right? You go to the character blueprint and you move the character in the capsule down just a smell. I don't fucking fix hers. You literally have to grab her pelvis, move it down, and in the animation, you have to grab her pelvis bone, move it down, and add a key to get her feet to be on the ground. And it's, likely due to some of this IK bullshit they've got going on. So that's yet one more thing that I'm like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. So what I would like to do is create me a really good locomotion system that's simple, easy, and to the point, using freely available animations. I would love nothing more than to be able to use all these animations in this Lyra project. But it seems like every time I think I've got them figured out and how I'm going to use them and make them work, I get another obstacle through in my face. Like, here's what I'm saying. There's no way in hell that I'm going into there and fucking moving every single one of the female variant animations down so that her feet touches the ground and adding a key to every one of them. Ain't gonna happen. But, whatever. Is there even any blend spaces in here? Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh, look at that. There's not a single 2D blend space in this entire fucking project. Okay. So then we remove that and we look for 1D blend spaces. And there's 3. And they are crouch walk, jog walk, and jog leans. So question. For those that watch the Lyra stream, I'm raising my hand. Are you telling me that there are no goddamn blend spaces except for these in here, and everything that the character is doing as far as forward, backward, left, right, forward, left, every bit of that's procedural. Is that what you're telling me? Because if that's what you're telling me, well then fuck you. That's all I got to say. And see here, this is a 1D blend space. And so what are plugged in here? You've got crouch walk. I guess one of these is backward, left, and move this over here. Forward, right, and backward. And they're doing all that shit with a 1D blend space. So they've definitely got some kind of fucked up logic in here that's actually driving these characters. Of course they do, right? And these, of course, these are just the leans, right? So all this does is make the character lean. And I did that procedurally in one of my projects, which eliminates the use of those animations completely. You don't even have to have them. And then you have unarmed walk and jog. And it's only forward. You see that? It's only forward. So if they did that, why the hell do they have left, right, and backward animations, but yet there's only forward? So they're doing some kind of crazy shit. And you see, you can't even, let's see here. Let's see if we can find an animation blueprint. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm sure we could figure that out in a flat minute, right? I mean, look, you got item anim base layers, you got mannequin base, you got copy pose, you got retarget, you got mani post process, you got pistol. I mean, shit, fire, and save matches. What in the fucking fuck are they doing in here? Yeah, it's a mystery, right? Wrapped inside of an enigma. And then when you open this up, I guarantee you, oh, look at that. Can play idle break. Okay. Process idle. Anim BP Tur 5. Right? So, like, this is in the event graph, by the way. And then in the anim graph, look at that. There ain't even fucking nothing in here. I don't know. This is like chasing around a bag of rabid weasels every time I come in here. Hey, look at that. We got a state machine in here. Oh, wow. What do we got here? Idle, start, full body start state, leans, it's additive. Yeah, I'm sure we could figure that out. I'm sure. Useless. Yeah, that's no bueno for me. I'm out. I'm tapping out. Tapping out. There ain't no way in hell that any normal person would be able to recreate this. No way. I'd say maybe the best that could be accomplished would be, well, the way that I had planned. Build my own stuff to get away from using any of this stuff. Oh, well. So much for that. What a pisser. delete. Goodbye. Thank you for playing. Oh, still got the project open. Can't delete it when it's open, stupid. Okay, back to forum serving. Anywho. Let's see. Yeah, I think we've already read all the rest of those in another stream, so let's move into something else. Okay. Did the whole internet just die? Oh my God, we're being attacked. Blueprint. We will go in here. Let's see here. Need help with the drawer, blueprint, compiling, extract character from the UE5 Lyra project. Yeah, you ain't going to do that. It's all connected, all tied together. Done been there and done that. Ain't going to happen. How do you guys learn blueprint nodes? Item effect changes according to item level. How to add math. I need a better way to control the loop. Line of sight. I guess I could show you guys this. Let's go back in the engine. It's always funner to go in the engine and blow shit up. Really. I only use this forum surfing bit to fill in gaps, right? I don't know if you guys knew this or not. That's why I want to show you guys this. What if I was to tell you that there is legit a built-in way to figure out if something has line of sight or not? Would you believe me? I believe that it is it's tied to the player controller, I believe. Right? So if we was to open the character blueprint and right click and type line of sight, you see how nothing comes up? But if you uncheck context sensitive, look at that. And it's under the controller, right? And it literally has line of sight too. And you literally put in a target and the other target. Okay? And it literally checks to see if it has line of sight. And if it does, of course, this return true. And if it don't, it returns false. The catch to this node is it's tied to the controller. Okay? So in other words, if you were going to try to do this inside a character blueprint, first you have to get the player controller, right? So it would be get player controller, like this. And then if you've got a custom player controller, you would have to cast to it. But if you pull out of the player controller and type line of sight, see? And then you just plug into the other actor, right? And it will return true or false. Built right in. So there you have that. Which is cool, by the way. There's a lot of stuff. Just so you guys know, there's a lot of stuff built right into this engine that people just don't know about. And really the only way to really know is ever so often spend 15 minutes or 30 minutes of your day just literally looking through all this damn stuff, right? Like, what in the hell is all this stuff, right? And you just kind of, is actor tick enabled, blah, blah, blah. And you literally just read through this. Look, get actor eyes viewpoint. There's all kinds of shit. And the only way that you really will ever find this is literally just going in here and exploring. And you can't even do it in a single blueprint because certain things are available in certain blueprints that are not available in others. As an example, that has line of sight to or whatever. That's tied to the player controller. So, you know, spend a few minutes of your day, you know, look under AI here. Look at all this stuff. Get AI controller, get Blackboard, blah, blah, blah. There's just all kinds of shit in here. Events is a good one that I like to explore a lot. If you look under event, add event, look at all these events. Custom event, event begin play, event destroyed, event in play, event on landed, event on launched, event on in crouch, event on movement mode changed. And that's just a few, right? There's subcategories. Event on become view target. Event on end view target, right? And these are events that will fire whenever that happens. There's tons of shit in here. Tons and tons and tons and tons of it. Let's see. Character. On walking off ledge, collision, game, damage, event any damage, tons of stuff. Look, there's that one that we used in that respawn system. Event unpossessed. That means if you guys are unaware of this engine automatically, like there is a well, let's see if we can do it this way. If you type POSSES, and uncheck, I think most of this is also in the player controller. Let's see here. Yeah, right here, look. You see how they've got a possess and unpossess. So a lot of people are under the assumption that before you can possess another pawn, you first have to unpossess your original pawn. And built in, from my experience, it will automatically do that. Like, when you possess another pawn, it automatically triggers unpossesses on the original pawn. So I don't really quite understand why there's an unpossess. It's kind of like jump, right? You got jump and then stop jump. You got crouch and stop crouch, right? Well, you've got a possess and an unpossess. But in my experience, once again, the moment that you possess a new pawn, in the background, it will automatically trigger unpossess on the old one, which then fires that event on unpossesses. And when you unpossess your original character, that's the event that I use to destroy the actor, right? A lot of stuff, man. There is a lot of stuff in here. I don't know how in the hell anybody knows all this stuff, but there's people that do, apparently. I just get in here every now and then, even still now. I get in here and I just start looking through shit. I'm like, what in the hell is in this? And I look. And then I'm like, wow, I never knew that shit was in there. That's like in a game mode. There's a lot of shit built into a game mode I was dicking around with one day. Like, if you go into the full blueprint editor, let's see, look right here. look right here where it says functions. See this? Do you see how it says that there's 32 overridable? Do you see that? There is a way. I don't remember how, but I believe there's a way to display all 32 built-in functions, right? Let me see if I can think for a minute and see if I can remember how I did this. Oh, there you go. Yeah, look. If you click right here where it says override, look at this. This is all built right into a game mode. Look at the things you have. Actor, begin cursor over, end cursor over, actor on clicked, actor on released, any damage. Look, can spectate, choose player start. Look at that. Built right in. Look, and if you click it, look what it does. It's built right. It's literally built right in. And now, granted, most of the time when I do, like my respawn system, I just build my own, right? But you can literally do a respawn system with the functionality built right into a game mode by default. And see how it puts it over here? Let me delete that. Let's just look through some of these. And this goes for every blueprint, by the way. The same shit's in player states, the same shit's in player controllers. Let's see. Look, find player start. So first, if you're wanting to use the built-in functionality in a game mode to do your respawn system, first you would do this. You would override find player start. And then after you've overrode find player start, you would then do an override for choose player start. Initialize HUD, must spectate, on changed name, on logout, on post login, on restart player, on swap player controllers. Look at all that shit. And if you go look at a, well, I mean, there's a bunch in a character blueprint too, probably. 34 overrideable. And if you bring them up, there they are. On jumped, on landed. There's unpossessed. On start crouch. Bunch of them. And then if you look in, let's see here. Let's create a blueprint class. Let's create a player controller. And we will also create a player state, right? Game state. We can do that one. We'll just go in here and look at some of these. Add a blueprint class, player, state. There you go. Okay, so let's go look at a player state. 18 overrideable. So you click the button and it shows you. Any damage, destroyed, right? So when the player's state is destroyed, end play, on reset, radial damage. Okay, so that ain't got a whole heap in it, but there's still quite a few. Which one was this? This is the, oh, that's the game state, right? So if we come in here, 16. Well, that looks pretty much like the same. A lot of the same stuff. And this was a player controller. Look, on possess, on unpossess. So yeah, tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. And that's a game mode base, right? I think there's even a different one. Let's see here. Okay, so there's a game mode base, and then there's a game mode, right? And if you look, there's actually a difference. Game mode base defines the game being played, its rules, scoring, and other facets of the game type. But if you look at the game mode, it says is a subclass of game mode base that behaves like a multiplayer match-based game. It has default behavior for picking spawn points and match state. If you want a simpler base, inherit from game mode base instead. So see there's two different kinds of game modes. There's a game mode base, and then there is a game mode. What's the difference in them? I don't know. I just pick the game mode base and then put in my stuff. But I'm sure there's a difference in them. I don't know what. I guess we could select it. Let's make one and see what the difference is. Let's open this up. This one's got 33 overridable. Let's see how many the other one has. 32 overridable. So I don't know. Maybe they're not exactly the same. I don't know. They look the same. Maybe it's this stuff here, right? See how this has got delayed start and all that? Maybe. Let's open the other one up and see if that's any different. It is. Right? So this is the game mode base. And do you see all this stuff up here? See? Now look at this, and look at the difference in this one. Delayed start, minimum respawn delay, interactive player state lifespan. See? So there is some difference in them. See this one right here where it says game mode, you've got 3 things you can do. And in this one where it says game mode, there's quite a few differences. So there is some differences in them. I bet you if you use this more advanced one, you can implement like, like right here, delayed start. Match begins in 5, 4, 3, 2. I bet that's built right into this. If you set it true. Let's see if we put game start. Let's see here. Event handle starting new player. Event init initialize. Start spot. Event on restart player. Restart player at player start. So yeah, there's a couple differences in it. Whatever. Who the hell knows? You ain't my supervisor. Make physics. Oh, yeah. So we got off on that line of sight tangent right there. So I'm currently trying to return a true or false value for whether or not an object is visible from the line of sight of the camera. I think that the built-in node, it uses the location of the player's start, right? But you might be able to plug in something different, right? Like you might be able to plug in the camera and get the line of sight between the camera, right? I don't know, but and see, they're linking him to do a trace system, which you could, but if it's already built into the engine and it's already doing a trace to find out whether or not the actor has line of sight, why build your own if you got one built in? See? And see, look at the difference. I'm putting this here for anyone that comes across this. You could always have your current system and have an additional check to see if it's in. See how much more complicated that got by doing it that way when you could just do it from the player controller? Now, once again, I mean, if it's coming from the player controller, I'm pretty sure that blueprint stays right attached with the character. Look at this shit. 2 years later. 100 years later. Damn, he waited 2 years. Jesus, he's persistent as hell. Okay. Let's see. Standing up after ragdoll, IK rig problem. How player look at other actors. There is a built-in look at node, I think, in the damn animation shit somewhere. I believe you just plug in the actor and it does some funky bone rotation or something, and it makes the player always look at that actor. Built right in. You might have to enable one of them animation plugins, but I believe it's built right in. Like there is a node specifically designed for it to make the character always keep his vision trained and his head and stuff rotated to a specific actor, I think. We could check. I'm pretty sure it would be in the animation blueprint, but we can look in here. Let's see. Look at rotation. Animation, look at that. Look at function. Computes the transform, which is looking at target position with local axes, right? So you plug in your current transform, your target position would be whatever actor it is, you would get world location. Something like that, but it's built right in, right? See? Built right in. Handy dandy stuff. You got to explore, guys. Everything is not in a tutorial. Let's see here. How to fix this error. Emitter delay when spawned. I'm looking for this node. Oh shit. Which one? He's got two circled. How do I get it out with Unreal Engine 5? When I was looking at the blog explaining Unreal Engine 4, I found this node. That's just a vector parameter, right? Isn't that what that is? You got to be shitting me. And nobody answered him, right? So I believe that's in a material. So if we were to go into a material, that's just a vector. Let's see. How do you make them fucking things? You hold down the one key and left click. There it is, right there. And you can right click this, I believe, and you can change it to convert to parameter. Right there it is. Right fucking there. That's it. Oh God, what did I do? I just blew up the whole entire engine. That ain't safe. Linear gradient. So he's looking for both of those. I believe you would just right click linear. Right there it is. Look. Why the hell can't he find that stuff? So that's a linear gradient. You hold down the 1 key, left click, then select it, right click, convert to parameter. That's the 2 nodes, isn't it? Or am I crazy? Yeah. And they just named it. Right? So you select it and you can name it and you just call it value. Just like that. It's that easy. Now go build a whole entire game. And it says parameter 0 and 4. So that might not be. Let's see. Well, did he just put a 4 in here? Is that what he did? Nope. That ain't exactly the right one. Maybe you hold down the 4 key, left click. Nope. That ain't it. Let me look at that again. Value. Mask offset. Value step. That is a parameter, but it's got a 0 and a 4. So that's not a constant. That is, see, that's just a constant. Isn't there a 2? There it is, right? So it's a 2. You hold down the 2 key. Hold down the 2 key, left click, right click, convert to parameter. Nope, that still ain't it, right? That's still not it. The fuck is that thing? It looks like it's just a constant though, but how are they? Control and Alt for more. Let's see what this thing says. The constant expression outputs a single float value. It is one of the most commonly used blah blah blah. Expecting a vector, a 3 vector, the constant value will be used for all 3 elements when supplying a single number. It can be useful to collapse nodes, small triangle icon, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I guess that ain't it. So the default value 0, and even if you put a minimum and a maximum in a 4, it still doesn't give you that other setting. So that must be mask offset value. Well, I mean, maybe we could do it this way. Right, hold on here. Value step. Let's try it this way. And what happens when you plug that in there? Nope, it lets you put in a single. Well, it's got to be a 2, right? Damn it. Hold on here. Hold down the 2 key, left click, right click, convert to parameter, collapse. No, it's definitely not that. I get stuck on some of the dumbest shit. I don't even know why I even care. I'm just trying to see what happens when you do that. Parameters. So you got a channel mask, dynamic parameter, scalar parameter. Nope, it still just gives you 1. Remote to parameter. It's got to be one of these. Channel mask, curve atlas row, double vector parameter. Is that it? Nope. I will find this fucking thing. Maybe. Dynamic parameter. Scalar parameter. Vector parameter. That's the 3, so no, that ain't it. Nope. I mean, since it's got 2, you would think it would be a double vector parameter, but I guess not. Nope, it ain't that. Maybe I'm missing something here. I swear to God, it's just this. But somehow... Wow. That's definitely what we're looking for. Maybe it's because they put a minimum and a maximum in. Wait, we already did that, didn't we? We tried that. Value, parameter, and it's got a 0. Well, wait a minute. That's just the value. Hold on here. Let me get closer to my screen. God damn it. All that, and it's this, god damn it. Watch. Value. And it's set to 0.4. That's it right there. Okay, god damn it. And then the yeah, that goes into the gradient like that. So that's it. I was thinking it was 2 values. It ain't. It's a 0.4 upon further inspection. Now I'll just sit here and wasted all that damn time. And that's what it is. Do you guys see that's 0.4? I could have blew that up probably and seen that and saved a heap ton of time. That's all right. We get paid by the hour here. Drinking me a nice root beer. A root beer. Anyway, whatever. Next. Oh, the guy's still trying to do the Blueprint Ninja challenge. I probably could have read the comments here and somebody already resolved it. I don't like to see that. I like to figure out my own stuff. Okay? Even if I waste inordinate amounts of time. That's fine. Orient bounding box from get local bounds. Negative numbers in math expression, arrow keys. We already read all these. How to disable sprinting backwards, left, and to the right. I did that. It's in one of my projects. You can only sprint forward, forward left, and forward right. But if you try to go straight left or back, it kicks you out of sprint. I did that. Set actor rotation not replicating. So I guess we're done here. Looking. No, I don't see anything else, guys. Looks like we're running out of shit to talk about. Character and animation. Blech. Gonna make me puke. Showcases. We could go in there. I don't think I've ever even been in there. What do we got in here? Oh shit. This is just people showing their stuff they're making. Modding Lyra starter game. Is that somebody literally just going in there and changing meshes and shit out? That'll be on Steam in a week or two. $5.99. Hey, look at this cool game I made. Rubbish, man. I don't really see nothing in here that's really just making me go, wow. Of course, I ain't really went into any of the threads or anything. Halo fan project in UE4. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I know somebody that was making a Tribes fan project or Tribes Ascend fan project, and he got shut down. Got accused of all kinds of nasty things. That's why I don't get into doing reboots, remakes. To be honest, some don't care. Like some companies, they don't care. But some, oh, they care. Wargs. Well, just don't call it Paragon. Last stop at the Paragon something. Wonder if old Kern's got his game out yet. Let's go pay him a visit, shall we? He give up yet? Let's see. For the latest info from Chief Chats and developer interviews. America crossover skins. God damn, he's still in here selling skins for a game he ain't never gonna get made. Are you shitting me? More anime porno stuff. Look at that. I've always wanted to run around in a game blasting aliens in the face looking like this with my butt cheeks hanging out. Oh, he's not pandering to the anime hentai porn crowd at all. Not at all. Look at that. How do you get the Devo skin? There are 3 ways. Buy any newcomer pack and you automatically get the skin. How about you make a fucking game before you start selling skins? How about that? They just eat it up, man. They just keep pouring money in, pouring money in, pouring money in. When was the last damn post even? That's February 27th. February the 11th. I bet this is another porno skin he's selling. Oh, I ain't logging in. I don't think I even have an account here anymore. You gotta be shitting me. Look at that. He's literally made bunny outfits in half naked women with little fluffy tails on them. There you go. That's a skin in Mark Kern's Firefall game. That's a skin. Such a shame. They got some nice pictures, Drew, though. Look at that. He got some high school kid to draw him some pictures. And he sells these things and they ain't even made. You buy now, you'll get in. You'll get this skin. You look like a bunny rabbit straight out of Playboy. Well, I mean, it looks like the latest news was February 27th. What it's looking like. Let's go see what's in general discussion. Which demo? Unofficial crossover speculation thread. I had hoped Ember would be free to play. I would hoped it would have just been playable. Is that too much to ask for? I'm glad I didn't put no money in this piece of shit. I'd be very upset. I heard to pop into their damn Discord server. Hey, is this fucking game ready yet? I've already built 12 games and you ain't even got this son of a bitch out playable yet. What's with you? Go in there and troll the shit out of them. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. My idea for the Ember trailer. We gotta have that bunny chick hopping around on all fours like a bunny rabbit. That'll sell some skins. I wonder what he's posting about on his Twitter. Right, let's go look at that. Mark Kern, shit poster in chief. Let's go see what he's doing. That's not him. It's this guy. It's this guy. Oh, well, he's putting his 2 cents in about Twitter. Building a game and he don't ever even talk about it. Look at this. Despite the anticipated changes in policies, my feed is mostly a gaming feed. No, it ain't. It never has been. All he does is go on here and shit post. Oh, look, is that a new skin? Ooh, sure. That's pathetic. I gotta get off there. That's gonna make me vomit. I think I threw up a little bit in my mouth. I know exactly what that guy's up to. He's pandering to the anime porn hentai crowd. And they're hoping that he's gonna put out a game where they can run around in little fluffy bunny rabbit suits. Such a shame. Such a shame. Well, guys, I guess we're at the end of the stream here. There ain't nothing else to do. I ain't in the mood to build shit. We talked about line of sight. That's good. I guess we could try to implement that damn plug-in, right? That rotation orientation bullshit. I guess we could try to put that in just to see what it looks like. I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. Let's do that, right? So I'm going to bring up the dock, and I'm going to put the dock on my right screen, and let's see if we can even get this bullshit to work. How about that? Okay, so let's see. Let me see here. First, we'll have to turn on the plug-in. Let me just get this scrolled. I've got it on my other screen over here. All right, let me get this scrolled. All right, let's see if we can do this. So we go to plugins, we go to animation, somewhere, right here, and we are looking for that one, animation warping. So you enable the plugin, and then you got to restart. Then yes, save all the things. And we will try this shit. Because why not? Okay, so first we got to get this character where it strafes, right? Because right now it's got that funky movement where you turn back at yourself and shit. So we can't have that. So we're going to go into the character blueprint. And I never can fucking remember how to do this, right? So there is a orient rotation to movement in one of these. That's got to be turned off. And then the other one is use pawn control rotation. That's already on. Well, let's just see if that does it then. I think there's another setting somewhere. Yeah, so it ain't that. Okay. So then maybe it's in the class defaults. And it's use controller rotation yaw. I believe that's it. And I think those two settings there get this person. There you go, right? So now you got that. Okay. So the next part of this, I believe we do this in the animation blueprint, which there's 84 fucking animation blueprints in here. So we'll have to see if we can figure out which one it is, right? So it would be in the Manny. It would be in here. And it's showing that it's right here where they did this, but they've added some extra shit here. And it goes past all this control rig stuff. So we might have to do this, right? So let's right click and type orientation warping. Right there's the node. Okay. And then I suppose we have to come out of the control rig, does this local to component bullshit. And then we go back this way. Okay. Which is fine. Let me see what we're missing here. Let's see. So in this, we got to go to details, and it looks like that there is spine bones here, and there's 5 of them, right? So you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you go spine 1 here, spine 2, spine 3, 4, 5, and then the IK foot root goes here, which will be all the way down on the bottom. which will be that one. And then the foot IK bones, there will be 2. And so that will be foot left and foot right. Okay. And we're still missing something here. I think there's some kind of an IK, leg IK. Hold on here. Leg IK. It looks like they just plugged that in like that, and it hadn't got anything changed, I don't think. And then you plug in direction. And I bet you that they're not even storing the direction. Right? So if we go to the event graph, they're not. It doesn't look like. Ground speed, movement speed, they are not. So we will need to do a calculate direction. And the target will be, where's these stupid variables at? This character, I guess, that'll be the target. That is not the target. No, I guess we don't put that in there. From this, though, we would get, let's see, get velocity. And we'll split that. And we'll split that. We just need the X and the Y. And then it will be get actor rotation. That. And then that becomes direction. And then we just plug it in right there. And then theoretically, that should go here. Now, what does it do? Does it work? Does it do anything? I don't have no fucking idea, but we're going to find out. How about it, lady? Oh, look at that. Aha. That is exactly why, just to be clear here, look, I'm going straight to the right. That is exactly why they have left and right animations. Okay? And then we go backwards. Of course, they would have to have a backwards animation. Now, how the fuck do they do that, right? See, that's only if you're going forward. So if you're only going forward and you strafe, see how she strafes? That does look correct, but you need right and left animations for sure. And then you'll need backwards. But when you go back left, that's going to have to be reversed, probably. So it kind of fucking works, right? I don't know if I want to sit here and try to, like legit get this to work, but it kind of works. So you'd still have to have a I believe you're going to end up having to reverse it if you're going backwards. See, because when I go back right, it makes it look like he's going back left, right? So there would have to be more logic put in to detect if the player's going left or right. Well, that kind of fucking works. I mean, I must say that I'm kind of, not really, but sort of impressed. How do you solve that backward shit, though? Right? Let's put the damn mannequin, the actual mannequin in here. Maybe I'll dick with this for a minute and let's see what we can come up with. I mean, that's it, right? That's how you implement it. But once again, there's going to be an issue, for sure, backwards. So let's just see if we can get the forward motion going. So we're going to have to, first let's do this, right? Let's change this over to the dude from the chick, right? So let's put in, they're using the Quinn sample. So we'll use the Manny sample and we'll change his blueprint to the Manny blueprint, right? So now we can be the dude and we'll go snatch out a couple Lyra animations and we will see what we can come up with here. We're definitely going to need left and right. Okay. Let's do this, man. All right. So we are going to create the Lyra for the sole purpose of animation thievery. And we will need the unarmed left, right, and backward. Okay, how about now? I bet you there's more to it than just making a new blend space, right? So we need animation sequences and we need to go to mannequin animations, locomotion, unarmed, and we need jog. Of course it ain't called jog. Why would they call it jog? Oh, it's unarmed jog. We need jog backward. We already got jog forward. And we need jog left and jog right. And we will export them to the desktop. Okay, go. And no, we don't want all this bullshit. Nobody even gives a shit. Okay, go. Okay. And now, in the mannequins, animations, under Manny, the Manny man, we need to bring in these animations. And that will be that skeleton. And go. And gonna have to force root lock. Okay. And force root lock. And force root lock. And then we got to modificate the blend space. Actually, we need a new one, right? This is going to have to be a 2D blend space, right? So we're going to right click, go to animation, and we're going to create a blend space for that skeleton, and we'll call this BS MM jog. Let's just call it that. Okay. And inside here, horizontal axis will be direction -180 to 180. And snap to grid. And then the vertical axis will be speed. And I think they plugged in 500. Save all the things. And well, jog backward will definitely be going on the corners. And left will go here. Right will go here. And idle will go here. And here. And here. What's with the red line here? And run forward, we'll go here. Aw, shit, I didn't turn on snap to grid. Of course I didn't. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, that's the 2D blend space. Now we got to go put this in the animation blueprint. Which will be in here. And let's see where they got this shit plugged up at. Would it be in here? So idle, and then we have walk run. And so it will go that ain't it. It would be this one. That will go here. And I guess ground speed can go here. And then we need this newly formed direction we made. Compile it and save it. And let's go see what happens. So now we actually got... Of course it turns him too fucking far. Right? Of course it does. See there? That don't work worth a shit. So no, they're doing far more than what I thought they were doing. Well, what in the hell? See, that's like back left. Nope, they're doing something different than that. Seeing if you take that stupid animation warping shit just completely out. Oh, nope, that's not what we're doing. Let's go back into, back up here. Yeah, so if you take that shit right there completely out, well, see there, that's okay. So maybe it's something I did. Wouldn't be the first time. Jog left, jog right, run forward, jog backward, idle, idle. That's idle, idle, idle. Well, what the hell is going on here? Jog backward, jog right, jog forward, jog left. Well, I mean, we can preview this. Hmm. Well, why is that derped up, right? Like that shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so those look right. And then forward. Yeah, that looks perfect. I think I know why it's doing that. Hmm. Let me just check something. We need to go into here. Let's put in the non-simple skeleton. Yeah, it didn't change shit, so that didn't have nothing to do with it. Well, I mean, it's because of the way the animations are made. See how he's running backwards that way? That's what it is. It's blending. It's trying to blend between those two. So see there, you're going to get two that are correct, right? So if you go forward, right, that looks okay. But if you go forward left, it's backwards because he's trying to run backwards. See? And then if you go backwards, back right's broken, but back left will look okay. See? And it's because that is backwards. And of course, that animation warping, that just fucks everything up. More logic is required. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic. I guess maybe you would just use a well, how would you do that though, right? You couldn't do that. I was about to say maybe you would just use a 1D blend space and put forward and backward in it. But then it would break for just straight left and right. Hmm. Come on, Epic, throw us a bone here. All right, well, let's see. What they started out with was just a jog. Or no, what they started out with was just this 1D blend space. Walk in place, walk forward, run forward. So if we were to try to create two blend spaces of the exact same thing, except one for backwards, let me think here. How the fuck would you even do that? That would be. You would have to have. Let's go back in here. Walk, run. And so you would put back this. And all they want is the speed. So that right there would be completely out. You could do. Let me think here. If I ever make one of these damn controllers that's worth a damn, I'll be shocked. So let's just see what we got here. Right, so this is back to the way that it actually was. So forward right, and forward left looks okay. And we're missing left and right. So if you were to So if you're going backwards, that would be -1, right? It looks so stupid. I would love to see how they actually set the Lyra animation blueprint up. But they've just got so much stuff in there, it's impossible to find that shit. And they're not using blend spaces either, by the way. A very limited amount of them. Let's just go back in here for a second. Already got that open. Okay. Remove anim sequences. And let's look for what was it's animation blueprints. Where did they put them? Damn it, now that was just in here. Oh, I know why. Clear your search results, stupid. Animation blueprints. There we go. So where are they changing the direction and shit? Are we literally going to have to open every single one of these? Update idle, land recovery, set up idle transitions. Oh, look at that. Turn in place. Set up turn in place anim. There's no way in hell I could ever figure this out. State node. All right, so we looked at that. Idle brakes. Distance matching. Look at all these variables. Idle, starts, stops, pivots, turn in place, jog. Here we go. Jog cardinals. What in the fuck is this? Left click to select the variable type, blah, blah, blah. Well, where? Jog cardinals. Forward, backward, left, right. So this is picking. This is like literally picking animations. See, because there's none in here, right? So then that means they're loading these damn animations in based on some logic somewhere. See, they've got all these, and that's not category anim set. That's not, it's not. Okay, well, it's looking like that. Let's see here. Same offsets. All the jogs. How the settings? They've got to be storing all them animations in something. They got all these different functions here. Here we go. Update. Let's see here. Update start anim. Update cycle anim. I guess it would be that. Now, ain't it? Look at that shit. There it is right there. Jog cardinals. Select. Well, these still have to be loaded, right? So this is some kind of a, it looks as though this is some kind of a array that you can load anim sequences in. That's what it looks like. But these have to be being set somewhere. What is this called again? This is called update cycle. So they got to be set somewhere. Set up pivot anims. Set up fall. Well, I mean, I guess we could look at the setup stop anim. Right? And then once again, it's pulling this shit out of this variable. But where is this goddamn stuff loaded at? See, because it's all empty. So this is got to be storing these animations somewhere. I'm all over this. I am all over this. I would have never fucking set this shit up this way in a million years. So it says set up stop. Okay, so get main anim BP thread local velocity direction. Set sequence. Convert to sequence evaluator. Node. Distance match to target. This is like chasing around a bag of rabid weasels. Okay. Update cycle anim. So that's setting update start anim, set up stop anim, set up pivot anim. Well, they're not setting it in here, right? Because there is no set cycle anim. There's only update. Which blueprint is this? Item layer. Okay, well, maybe it's in one of these other ones. Base. That's variables. State node function. Idle, start, set up pivot state, update locomotion state machine. Select cardinal direction from angle. Okay. Dead zone, forward dead zone, backward dead zone. Okay. Yeah, that ain't none of that shit. Full body cycle state. Good God have mercy. Full body cycle state. That's copy pose. That's retarget. That's post process. Pistol. Rifle. It ain't in here. It ain't in here. Wait a minute. Maybe it was in one of them. Hold on here. Oh, these are all empty. So these are being set somewhere. This is hopeless. Hey, wait a minute. No, we already looked at that damn shit. Where the fuck are they plugging these in at? See, there ain't shit in that one. Hey, I found the orientation warping. So they are using that stuff in here. I figured they was. And I believe this is where it's updating the cycle here. So what they're doing is they're loading an animation into here using this function that they created. Shit, where did it go? Update cycle anim. So somehow, okay, so get main anim BP thread safe local no offset. So this is where, but there's still got to be somewhere they're loading this. So it's picking the animation that it needs to play in here, and it's blending it in right here. So this is constantly being updated. Is what that amounts to. But I have no idea where they're loading in this jog cardinals bullshit. Like, it looks like, I mean, here's what it looks like. It looks like that this is an array that holds animation sequences. Like, that's legit what that is. It's an anim struct. Okay? But right here is where you would put these in here. So how are they grabbing the animation and loading it in here based on this information, which then plays it right here, which blends it in? And then they apply the orientation warping to it. I don't know. I don't know how the hell they're doing this. But somehow this is a struct of animations. That's all that is. But, you know, normally this is where you would plug it in, right? You would plug in your animation right here. And that is somehow that's it. That's where it's playing it right there. But and where are they loading that in at? And see, every one of these is the same way. There must be, you know what there must be? There must be some sort of a, hold on a minute here. Let's remove all these filters. There must be one of these stupid data types that they're using. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Look at this shit. Yep. So that's the enumeration type dealio, right? And then that means that anim struct cardinal directions. So in this must be right here where they're loading these fuckers. No, 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 no. That's the, we're getting closer, right? Like I'm getting closer to figuring this out. So they've got some sort of a data structure that holds the animations somewhere, and it ain't that. Uniform indexable curve something or another. That ain't it. And that's not it. These animations at. I was thinking it was this, right? But that's not it. It doesn't look like. See, because if it was, you would wait, look, default values. See there? It's empty. It's fucking empty. Where are they storing these goddamn animations? There's got to be some sort of a file somewhere that is okay. I'm reading chat over here. Let's see here. You need to look at the pistol, shotgun, and the rifle anim instances. That's where they set those structs, then apply those anim instances using anim layers. Okay, well, oh shit, I just closed chat. I didn't fucking mean to do that. I'll have to go reopen that, but let me go. Shit, we're going to have to filter back through animation blueprints. Okay, so we looked in here, right? Like we looked in the rifle. And there are no variables or functions or anything in here. but they do have asset overrides, and all that is just a sequence player, right? So that's still not, I still don't think that's what we're looking for. I don't. Let me go back and open up chat again. I didn't mean to kill it. That's what I get for getting click happy. That's what I get for getting click happy. Oh, wow. We got an echo. That's what I. There we go. Okay, I got yous back. So we already did that, right? Like we went and looked. Let me delete this crap here. I'm about out of gas, by the way. But I sorta understand how this works. But once again, when you open this, so there's nothing in the event graph. Yeah, I mean, we was in here poking around, right? And I see this. But what's baffling me is like, I mean, I kind of understand what they're doing here. But when you look at these, like this struct or whatever the hell this is, it's supposed to have animations plugged into it. There's nothing in it, right? So there has to be a file of some sort that's got a list, not a list, it's got it's where these are stored, right? Plugged in somehow. And then whenever this gets set to a certain way, it changes these animations based on that. But I cannot find where they're storing these at. See, this is an anim struct. Well, a struct would be a group of animations, right? But they're empty. There's nothing in here. Okay. And then, okay, so he says open the rifle anim instance and open class defaults. So that would be this. Are you fucking shitting me? There they are. Eureka. Misguided games, you're not very misguided. I would have literally sat here for days trying to find this, but there it is. That's it, right there. So they're storing them fucking things. Good God, this is complicated as hell how they have this fucking thing set up. See there? They're plugged in here. Okay, so good Lord. Right there they are. Yep. And then when you open the pistol shit, the same stuff will be there, but it'll be for the pistol, right? And the shotgun, same thing. Class defaults. So they store them inside here. And then this right here. No, that's just a blank, right? This is a blank. Well, I mean, it's got the logic in it, but essentially it's a blank. And then you create a, well, hellfire. Does that mean that they're swapping the goddamn anim things? I guess that's what this does. Right there. Nope. I would have never, ever built this way. I bet the person who built this I bet he worked on this for months and months and months and months. I would have never done this. I would have done a simple goddamn enum that picks the animation based on the weapon that's in your hand. That's what I would have done. The catch to that is you can't use that animation warping shit, right? Apparently you can't, because I tried hooking that up in here and it derps out. So you would have to have a full range of motion. You would have to have forward, backward, left, right, forward, left, forward, right, back left, and back right. And you would have that for every single weapon pose that you want. And then you would do a blend by, well, I mean, hellfire. Let me show you guys how I did it, right? So that's what we'll do. We're going to do something that I normally don't do, right? We're going to have a look at the TPS basic, and we're going to go in here, and let me show you guys what I did. And I come up with this my own self, right? This is not something that I followed from a different tutorial or any of that shit. This is something that I figured out and worked out. So in this template that we're fixing to look at, there's 3 sets of animations, right? There is a rifle hip, there is a rifle iron sights, and there is a pistol set. But I did this completely different, like literally completely different. And the way that I did it, I mean, it works, right? And it's a whole hell of a lot more simple to understand. And it updates at runtime too, but I'm not changing. Shit, this is not what I was trying to do. We're trying to do this. Open the right one. Don't open what I'm clicking, open what I'm thinking. Oh, my brain is a bunch of mush at this point. So the way that this works, let's see, where would I start at to show you guys this? The TLDR of this. So what this revolves around, essentially, is the weapon in the character's hand, okay? So if we were to look at the master weapon blueprint, the most integral part of this whole thing is contained in the master weapon blueprint, okay? So we're going to open this up, and what's really all you need to look at here is right here. You see where it says animation set? You see that? And there's this drop down here, and you've got 3 different sets of animations. Okay. So you've got rifle hip, rifle iron sights, and pistol. And this is stored in the weapon blueprint. Okay. This is based on an enumeration. So I have an enumeration created that has all my animations in it. The sets, right? So think of it this way. Think of it, if you had unarmed, you would have a listing here for unarmed. You would have rifle hip, rifle iron sights, pistol, shotgun, however many different sets of animations that you have. Then inside the weapon, you create a variable in here, a simple variable called weapon animation set right here. It's an enumeration. And that's what gives you this setting right here. Then when you create your child blueprints, all you have to do is make sure that if it's a pistol, you set it to use the pistol animations. If it's a rifle hip, you set it to use rifle hip. If it's iron sights, you set it in the child blueprint. You set it in the child blueprint. Then what happens is when the weapon hits the character's hand, it reads that variable. Then inside the animation blueprint of the character, wherever the hell that is, who built this again? Okay, inside the character blueprint, or I mean, not in the character blueprint, in the animation blueprint, in the event graph, what I'm doing here is I'm monitoring the current weapon in the character's hand. Okay. And if you watch this left screen here, when the weapon changes, it's reading which animation set that it needs to use. See how he switched to the rifle iron sights here? And then he switches to the pistol here. And then in the anim graph, what's happening here is you can see that we're doing a blend by animation set, right? So it's reading that enumeration, and it picks whichever one of these. See, these are the aim offsets. So I've got a set of aim offsets for the hip. I've got a set of aim offsets for the iron sights. And I've got a set for the pistol. And then whenever that weapon changes, it's reading this. So if you'll watch what happens here, let's say that I hit the Q button and the very next weapon that goes into my hand is the rifle iron sights. See how it automatically flips the animations? And then if I hit it again and it goes to pistol, see how it picks the pistol? Rifle hip. And all that required to do was create an enumeration with a list of all the animation sets that you're going to use. You add that variable to the weapon and you monitor that weapon in the animation blueprint right here. And that's it. And it also updates the montages that it needs to play and everything. So what happens is when you're in real time and you switch the weapon, it automatically switched to the pistol. Now it's on the rifle hip. And now it's back to the iron sights. And it updates all the firing animations, the reload animations, and all that stuff, all at the same time. Simply by monitoring which weapon's in the character's hand. That's it. That's all it required. So when I look at that stuff like they did, I'm sitting there looking like, what in the hell are they doing? I don't know if that made sense to you guys or not, but that's all it is. It's based around the weapon in the character's hand. That's the simplest way I can explain it. I mean, you're already switching the weapon, right? So you're switching from one weapon to the other. And in real time, when that happens, it's looking right here in real time. What weapon's in your hand? What animation set is it supposed to use? What weapon's in your hand? What animation sets it's supposed to use? Constantly. So every time you switch from one to the other, in real time, it updates right here, which then triggers in here, and see, it's in here. Like if you go into the locomotion and you go into the ground movement, see that same blend by enumeration, blend by enum is right here. And these are all the 2D blend spaces, right? So you got a blend space for the rifle hip, and that contains forward, backward, left, right, forward, left, forward, right, back, left, back, right. And that's the same for every one of these. Okay? Every one of them. And so when that changes, it changes here. So now you're using the rifle hip blend space. When you do it again, now you're using the pistol blend space. Easy peasy Japanesey. Simple, stupid. That's exactly what we do here. And it works fine. And it doesn't require animation warping, fucking IK this, anim layer that. It doesn't require any of that bullshit. None of it. Zero. And that node is built right in, right? So if you was to do right here, you do blend and you look for the one with your enumeration, right? See right here, blend poses by E_anim sets. That's what it looks like when you bring it in. But however many listings you have in that enumeration, you right click here on the node and you can expose them, right? So rifle hip, rifle iron sights, pistol. And if I wanted to add one, right, all you go to do is go back into the enumeration, the original enumeration, which would be right here, anim sets, and you just add one right here, right? So you would add an enumerator, and you could call this one something like unarmed. Then save it. And then when you come back in here now, let me recompile this and save it. Now, when I right click this again, look, now we have the unarmed state. See there? Easy peasy Japanesey. And all these extra pins here, I never use these. So I turn them off, right? So that would be, wow, Unreal Engine 5. Did you really change this? There is a way somewhere to turn these pins off. Or there was, right? See, I've turned them off here. How the hell do you do that again? Well, son of a bitch. Oh, maybe you just uncheck that. Yeah, uncheck that, right click the node, refresh nodes. There you go, right? So I turned them off. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys or not, but that's how I choose to do multiple different animation sets. It's simply controlled with an enumerator with a list of all your animations in it, and you store it. I store it on the gun, right? That way, when you create a child blueprint of the master, you can change it to which animation set that it's supposed to use. If it's a pistol, you set it to pistol. Shotgun, set it to shotgun. And then when you get this set up, this animation graph set up, it's easy to maintain after that. You can use different aim offsets, and it blends based on the weapon in the hand. Monitored right there. Oh, well. Oh, and that guy that was asking about how do you keep a character from sprinting backwards and stuff? If we look, I bet you I did that in here, right? So if we were to look in the movement input, I bet you is where I did it. Right? Yep. Right off of the move forward input. I come over here and I'm checking to see if that's less than or equal to 0. If you're sprinting and that value becomes less than or equal to 0, we simply call the server stop sprint, which then disables all the sprinting. So that was easy to do, right? And the purpose for that was to make it so that you could only sprint forward, forward right, and forward left. And if you try to go straight left, it kicks you out of sprint and you can't sprint backwards. So that was pretty easy to do. And it's monitored right there, right? Because that value, if it's 1, that means you're moving forward. If it's anything but 1, then either you're trying to go straight to the left or straight to the right or backward or back left or back right. And we just simply turn it off. Server stop sprint. I shouldn't be showing that. You should have to buy that. But anyway, whatever. I've been streaming for a decade now. It's time to end. Let me go clean up some garbage here. Ain't no way in hell I would ever build that. Try to recreate the locomotion they did for that Lyra game. Ain't no way in hell I would try to do that. That's too fucking complicated. I'm going to come up with a good locomotion. And it ain't going to be like that. It ain't going to be that complicated. I might dick around some more with that animation warping stuff. But for the amount of work they had to put in to get all that working, fuck that. I'll just make some damn animations. Forward, left, forward, right, back, left, back, right. I'll just make them. It ain't that hard, really. But I don't understand Epic sometimes. I really don't. It's almost like they go out of their way to complicate the hell out of things. I don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what it seems like to me. Let's take a look at this. Let me just extract that here. I just want to take a quick look at this. So this is that third person starter thing that I was going to work on. So see there, look at this movement on this character. This character has no IK, and I'm not using that animation warping stuff. and I created forward left, forward right, back left, and back right. So that's what it looks like. And I put in crouch. And these are the animations out of Lyra, plus the ones that I had to make. And even them are shit. And I just threw those animations together. I could have probably did better than that. I don't know. People are really, really picky about the animations in their stuff. They want it to be as realistic as possible, which I don't guess is a bad thing, but god damn it, the amount of work it goes into that stuff. I mean, every creator that creates any kind of a project, the vast majority of the time is spent fucking with animation. Trying to prevent foot sliding, trying to, make it where when you're standing on an object, your foot goes up. And for what? It's a game. It's not meant to be real life. And then you got to have the start transitions, right? So it can't be as simple as you just mash the button and go. You got to have the wind up before you go. You got to have the wind down before you stop. You can't just jump. You got to have a jump recovery, a jump apex. That just chaps my damn ass. I'll just tell you guys, it just chaps my damn ass. If I had my way about it, the damn character would just fuck. Let me show you guys what, if I had my way about it, let me show you what kind of games I'd put out. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. If I had my fucking way about it, let me show you what I'd put out. Oh, hell, really? I'm going to crash a motherfucker out. Oh. See, there, Epic's playing tricks on me. We'll show that little John Galt punk. Let's see if it kept it. Why, hell no. Of course it didn't. Why will it not let me take off the damn animations? Well, okay, fine. Have it your way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and that's this way. Now, there ain't no way that that's still fucking working. I just unhooked the shit. There you go. If I had my way about it, that would be my animation right there. No goddamn animation. That's what that would be. Well, we could have just did that. There we go. That's even better. There. That would be my animation right there. Don't even need a crouch animation. Forget it. All right. That's a wrap, Jack. I bitched and pissed and moaned enough. All right, let's bring Chad over here. So misguided games ain't misguided. He understands that. I do not understand the amount of work that they put into that to create that animation system. Does it look okay? Yeah, sure. It looks great. Is it worth the amount of effort they put into it? I don't fucking think so. But that's just my opinion. That's one man's opinion. So Rocky Ferry is asking if he's still developing his game. John, I love when you say, okay, go. Yeah. That's all I ever get done around here is waiting. Waiting on shit. Waiting on this. Waiting on that. My computer ain't strong enough. I've got a 8-core, 16 thread, 32 gigs of RAM. It ain't enough anymore. You need to have 16 core, 32 thread with 128 gigs of RAM. And an RTX. Is it RTX still or is it something else? 3090 or some bullshit like that. A $2,000 graphics card. Ain't got enough anymore. You know what's really sad? Some of you guys have been around here for a while. You remember this, but some of you newer guys don't. When I first started, I was using an i7 second gen i7 4-core 8-thread processor with 16 gigs of RAM and a GTX 1060. I think it was a 1060 graphics card. That's what I started with. And then I went from that to a 7th gen i7 4-core 8-thread with still 16 gigs of RAM and still a GTX 1060. And then I went from that to what I have now, which is it's an AMD 3500, 3700. Jesus Christ, I don't even know anymore. Hold on here. I quit keeping up with this shit. I don't even remember now. What are we even running here? Yeah, it's an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X 8-core, which would be 16 thread. And then the RAM is like 32 gigs right there. And the graphics card is, I believe, a 2070. I don't think this actually even shows the graphics card, does it? No, it don't. But we could probably do it this way. Hell, does it not even show it here either? I don't even fucking remember how you find it anymore. I'm pretty sure it's a 2070. How do you do what did they remove that? I thought that there was maybe it is in here and I'm just not seeing it. Where the fuck did the device manager go? Well, I don't see it. I don't see it anymore. Hey, there it is. Yeah, there it is. NVIDIA RTX 2070. There you go. It's right there. So nowadays you need a 16 core, 32 thread. I don't even know. Do they even make processors anymore? I mean, can you even buy them anymore? I know the goddamn graphics cards are through the roof as far as cost is concerned. Why is that shit on my other screen? Get over here. Let's see. Amazon Ryzen CPUs. How much does this shit even cost anymore? Is it time to upgrade again? Let's see. That would be single core, dual core, quad core, hexacore, octa-core. So it would need to be what octa-core? Damn. Even the processor I've got still expensive as shit. $339. 8 core, 8 core. What, did they quit making them? I'm out of the loop. Was there not such a thing as a 16 core, 32 thread chip? I'm just not looking for the right shit. Oh, okay. Well, it's a Ryzen 9. That's what it is. No price. Can't even buy them anymore. New and used for $600. So a CPU would run me $600. And then a RTX, a 3070 would be plenty. Fucking $770. My ass. No, thank you. Well, at least they're in stock now. I mean, at least that's improved. I remember a time when you couldn't buy one of these things for three times as much as they were charging for them. What's crazy is, once upon a time, I made it a point to own the top of the line best graphics card that you could possibly buy that money could buy. And what the hell was it? A TI 4800 or some shit like that. It was 100 years ago. And it seems like it was $400. And that was the top of the line, state of the art. You couldn't get no better. And nowadays, a mid range card is $1,000. I guess it would be, there's one above that, but I wouldn't even fuck with that one. Yeah, $1,300. Well, I mean, that's cheaper. I remember these things going for like $2,600 not so many months ago. I wonder. Here's something else we could do. Well, let's see here. RTX 2070 versus RTX 3070. What do we got? $500. That ain't right. More than that. 23% better. 46% better. 43% better. I bet that thing smokes it. 37% better. Okay. Oh, it's only 96% better there. That ain't much better at all, is it? 93% better, 87% better. Oh, well. All right, guys. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Friday. And we will see you guys in another video in another time. You guys have a good one.